Peter Ndirangu. He is an expert in finance, business advisory, and startup incubation, and he'll be taking us through the importance of bookkeeping and accounting for small businesses. Join us. Hello and welcome to Voices. This is a platform where we create meaningful dialogue in order to empower millennials in Kenya to be active citizens. And part of being an active citizen is taking up opportunities that empower you economically, not just for your own sustained livelihood, but also to contribute to the economic development of our country. And that's why for the past 8 weeks, I've been bringing you a series on entrepreneurship and career development. Of course, I've hosted a couple of experts in the relevant field. And in case you missed those videos, or if you're new here in this channel, don't worry. I've created a playlist. One is titled Entrepreneurship and the other one is titled Career Development. So just go to my homepage on the channel page, click on the videos tab, and then you'll see the playlist category and you can find all those amazing videos there. And so without much further ado, let's go right to today's topic, and that's on the importance of bookkeeping and accountancy for small businesses. So let's get started. Welcome to my show, Peter. It's such a great honor to host you.
Thank you.
And an introduction on what bookkeeping and accountancy is.
Thank you so much, Winnie. I would like to open by clarifying that there is actually a difference between accounting and bookkeeping. Whereas bookkeeping is primarily recording. Yes. Accounting is like an advanced bookkeeping. So accounting depends on bookkeeping. It is after you've kept your books that you can do the necessary analysis. You get some sense out of the data that you've recorded. You do profit and losses account. You do the balance sheet, possibly after a period. But bookkeeping is actually that recording that you do daily to track each and every activity of the business. So it's important to note that there is actually a difference, though a very thin difference. But you will find most of the SMEs ignoring bookkeeping, possibly because it sounds simple. It sounds that act of doing it every day being petty, recording the very small and petty transactions, whereas accounting is now producing and giving reports. So it is important to understand that for you to be accurate in your accounting, you need to be very accurate in your bookkeeping. And that is a point that I think most of the SMEs would really need to grasp and understand. I would like to clarify also that there is no financial management, which is actually a product of accounting, without bookkeeping. Bookkeeping have to be primary. You have to record all the transaction first before you get sense of what have happened in the business financial wise. So that is quite very important. And I was reading and trying to understand one of the many reasons why most SMEs don't grow to maturity. And one of the reasons is because they ignore the aspect of bookkeeping. Winnie, let me tell you something. One of the reasons why most businesses fail, it is because they have a goal, that is, they have a vision to make profit and possibly to solve a certain societal problem, but they don't have systems to get them there. It's like having a vision, but you don't have a mission. You see, vision is where you want to go, and mission is how all the things you need to do to get there. Now, bookkeeping is actually a mission in achieving that vision of your business, but we ignore. So it is very paramount, and I'm very happy that we are discussing the importance of bookkeeping. And I believe that this will go a long way to every person who will check it and properly understand what we will be explaining in these reasons.
Wow, thank you so much, Peter, for that clarification. I'm sure this is quite a timely conversation coming in the wake of our country right now, everyone is trying to push for youth and to venture into entrepreneurship as part of especially creating jobs for other youth. So this is quite a timely conversation.
Yeah. Thank you so much. One of the reasons why every SME, or rather every startup, every business must have a solid bookkeeping system is actually to properly manage business finances. You realize that most of SMEs are not able to handle their finances. Most of them are not able to separate what they spend on personal matters and what they spend on business. They are not able to separate business income and income from other sources. So when in a business appreciate the art of bookkeeping, they manage and record every transaction that happens in that business. They are able to tell at any given interval that this is where I used my money, this is where I sourced my money. They are able to explain every inflow and outflow. And this is why actually it leads to proper financial management. You see, if every entrepreneur or a business leader want to understand their cash flows and inflows, they will definitely need to analyze where did my cash come from and where did my cash go to. That is inflow and outflow. And by the fact that you recorded every outflow of cash and every inflow of cash, you are able to get the real controls. Like, let's say you opened your business with 1,000 shillings. Then at a particular point of the month, your liquidity, or rather what you have in cash, is 500. Now what you need is to go to the books, just try to track where did my money go. Number 2 reason why business startups and SMEs need to keep their books is for the purposes of helping them measure their performance reliably. Most of the SMEs actually are making losses without knowing. Some of them are still pursuing products they should not be pursuing, basically maybe due to market acceptability level, but because they are not able to keep tracks of their sales, they are not able to keep track of the record of market penetration, then they are not able to make informed decision on the direction and the trend that the business is going. So it is very paramount that for every business decision that it is backed by some facts, and technically it is from bookkeeping that you get every fact that you use to make decision. But you realize most of the businesses or SMEs, they do it emotionally. You know, I am earning something, but what is the trade? Where do I need to intensify my efforts? You can only be informed accurately on the direction to go, on possibly the expenses to cut, the measures to put possibly so that you can sell well, if you have critically looked at your books, which you have kept. That is another very good reason why bookkeeping is essential. Another reason why bookkeeping is essential, it allows you to measure your liquidity and to safeguard your monies. Measure the business liquidity and safeguard the money that belongs to the business. One of the elements of bookkeeping, it is actually having separate accounts for recording both business and personal finances. Are you getting?
Yes.
Another attribute of bookkeeping is that aspect of having creditors and debtors accounts. So with this bookkeeping in place, you are able to measure your liquidity at any given time. Your liquidity is actually your ability to meet the short-term liabilities when they arise, which is actually the order of every business. So you would find a business that is running, but they are not liquid at all. They cannot pay their creditors. They cannot meet their short-term financial needs because they are not liquid. But how did they get there? With proper bookkeeping, you are able to safeguard and ensure that you are always at a healthy liquidity position. How about safeguarding of business cash? When you talk about bookkeeping, you can actually not separate bookkeeping with cash book. Cash book is one of the important book that every business should keep. Cash book. Cash book allows you to record every inflow and outflow of money. It allows you to record every receipt into the business and every payment out of the business. So with you having kept this important book called cash book, which is actually funded by expense and income trackers, you are able to safeguard your cash, because at any given time you are able to tell the money you have, and you're also able to reconcile with what you had. So with proper bookkeeping, you will not just find yourself in that negative liquidity position. You will not be insolvent without knowing, because every day you face your cash book, you get your figures right, and you are able to keep moving for your business. So one of the reasons actually why business fall, it is because they don't have cash anymore. It is because they did not know the debt limit that they should keep. You know, you can't tell the debt limit that you can keep if you're not keeping your books.
And I like the
you are not tracking. You're not
tracking.
You cannot track without figures.
Wow.
You cannot do it emotionally. You can only do it out of records.
Sure. So does this mean that someone doesn't even need an external person or consultant to even manage the books at that level?
Exactly. Like it is simple. Money in, money out. For both business and even personal finances. Because you only need a book that can record money in and money out. And at any given point, you are able to account for your finances. If you don't account, then you will not be saved from misuse. You will definitely misuse.
I know one of the things I need to go get once we are done with this video.
And let me add something here. There is this narrative that have cropped in the market that you have to use sophisticated systems, you have to use softwares to track your books. You don't need that. In bookshops we have cash books which are in form of actually papers, which is purely paperwork. You can also develop a simple Excel sheet and incorporate the money in and money out, and you will be there.
Wow, those are great insights, guys. I hope you're really taking notes, because honestly for me that's one of the things that I've been overlooking, and I'm learning a lot. Yes. So Peter, could you take us through the third reason why we need to bookkeep?
Okay. The third reason why you need to write books, it is actually for financial analysis. Financial analysis. Every business need to analyze its financials periodically. I actually recommend that every business should provide or implement a system of sitting down, possibly at the end of every month, and evaluating its finances. That is when you generate some reports. Financial forecast. What did you forecast? Have you attained it? Are you able to do everything within the budget? You can only compare the standards, what you set as a standard, and the actual performance with what you have kept. So bookkeeping gives you a very good basis of an important function of every business, which is financial analysis. And financial analysis is not for big businesses. It is for every business, even a family business. A husband and the wife could sit down at the end of every month, look at the figures they have recorded, look at the expenses they have recorded, look at the incomes they have earned, compare them with the performance in the previous period, and use that even to forecast and set goals for subsequent periods. So without bookkeeping you cannot do these things, but with bookkeeping you are able to do those very important things that helps you to analyze and do your finances. It is from financial analysis that you are able to develop even the very important ratios that businesses need, including budgeting process. So the number 5 reason why every business, whether small or large, is that why you should keep proper books. It is because it is actually a legal requirement. Every business operating in Kenya is expected by the Kenyan law to keep proper books for the purposes of taxation and for the purposes of providing any information as it may be required by the government.
Sure.
Let me emphasize more on the aspect of tax. Every business is expected to declare. If they are doing vertible supplies, they are expected to declare their sales every month and pay the VAT that is payable. If they are not doing VAT, then they have the income tax obligation, which is done annually. All these mandates of the that are required by Kenyan government through KRA, you cannot do them without proper books. Actually, it is illegal. It is actually out of order for you to declare your tax returns without getting your information or sourcing your information from the books that you have kept. KRA requires that every business keep their records up to 5 years backward for the purposes of necessity of audit that may be required. Audit, that is tax audit. So it is very important. There is a legal requirement. So even those who don't want to do it, just know that the government will come for you if they are interested to know how you've been recording and what you've been declaring to the government. So to be in safer place, you need to have a good bookkeeping system, a solid one, so that in case the government come to you, you can produce and tell them, hey, this is what I declared and this is what I kept. Because if you don't keep, you know what happens? They assess based on what they think. But with that books having been kept well, you are able to use that as a defense and drop any case that may arise out of suspicion that maybe you've been evading taxes. So it is very key. Imagine.
And nowadays KRA has been on people's neck.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
Every business, business here, south, east, they are receiving assessment from KRA.
Even the other day, Keroshe Breweries was in trouble for the same reason.
Yeah, for the same reasons. And you know, the government is not sparing anyone, including a startup that started yesterday. They are not sparing anyone. So to be in safe hands, just keep your books. And you should think beyond the law. Just imagine how important it is to you, even before you consider that I'm doing it because it should be done. For personal development and for business development, it is very crucial.
Wow. Those are great insights, Peter.
Exactly.
Do you have any more, or those were the 5 major reasons?
Those are the 5 major reasons, but those are not limited to many. There are many reasons why you should keep books, but over and above, you must keep books if you want to succeed. You see, that is what separates a light business and a mediocre business.
So guys, I hope you've been following this conversation and taking notes while I did. I'll do a small recap on the 5 reasons that Peter has given us on why it's important to to do bookkeeping for your business. And the first one was on managing your finances so that you're able to track your inflow and your outflow. The second one was measuring performance, and third one was measuring your business liquidity, and the third one was on financial analysis, and the fifth one was the importance of bookkeeping is because it's a legal requirement. And so guys, for me those have been quite insightful. It's been quite an insightful conversations, even for me, and I hope you've enjoyed as well. So Peter, maybe if you have more questions regarding this, or if you would like to engage Peter further, actually he is the founder of Keynes Consultancy, and those are some of the things that some of the services that he provides to businesses, not just to startups, but to even more established firms. So you can reach out to him. We'll provide his contact details in the description box below. Thank you so much, Peter. Actually, speaking of the Facebook page, one of the things that I want to emphasize to you guys is the power of branding. Whatever field that you're in, brand yourself in your social media platforms, because that's how I was able actually to meet Peter, because he contributes these insights in one of the Facebook groups that I follow, and that's how I was able to contact him, because he had something valuable that I needed to have. And exactly, so it's really important, brand yourself on social media. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would also like to hear what tips stood out for you. Please comment in the description box below and help us get to interact with you. If you'd like to engage Peter further, please find his details in the description box below. As always, this has been Voice It, the platform that we create to help you become an active citizen. Please subscribe if you haven't. Toodles!